Hey guys, back with another video. Just wanted to show you guys how I clean my barrels. I take them out of the stock, put them in my barrel vise, and I always turn the action so the trigger is away from me and it's not straight down, just because I don't want any solvent to go down in my trigger. So I turn it to the back sideways to keep that from happening. Plus I use a bore guide which protects it anyway, but just because I make a mess a lot of times, I don't want anything running down into my nice new trigger. So I try to keep things clean that way. And setting it up in the barrel vise like this, when I'm cleaning my barrel, the stock, if it's sitting in the stock, I'm always ramming my knuckles into the butt of the stock. It just irritates the heck out of me. So it's easier for me to just take it out of the stock, set it up in here and clean it here. I can do a lot better job. I don't have to worry about it. I don't beat up my stock, I don't beat up my knuckles. I can keep my trigger turned away. So this is what works for me. I know a lot of guys like to glue their stocks into their action, so this might not work too well for them, but for me, I don't glue anything in. There's a great debate, I guess, about whether or not it's better to glue your action in or not, and I'm not here to debate anything, but I don't want them glued in. I like to take them out. I like having access to my actions, my barrels, everything. I can take it all out, I can clean it. I can take the barrel off real simple right here. Got action wrenches, I can just slide right in, pop them off, change them. I change barrels all the times, and it seems like if the stock's on there, it's just in the way for me. And I don't see any benefit for gluing it in there. As long as you got a good solid bedding job done by a professional that's got it nice and straight and true, and some nice good solid screws to screw it down, I don't see any benefit for gluing them in there. I know there's guys that'll debate that all week long, but I've been shooting just fine and none of mine are glued in. I can clean that bottom of the action, I can clean everything with it just like this. And what do I use to clean with? I use two things. Hoppe's number 9 and Ioso. That's it. No other fancy chemicals. I've watched guys on the internet that said let your barrel soak in this and patch it out in the morning and you're done. I tried all that stuff. It didn't do anything. The only way I found to get these things clean is good old-fashioned elbow grease. And after you've run I use bronze brush. I've seen guys talk about running nylon brushes through there, and bottom line is they don't do anything either. I haven't. I bought a bunch of those darn nylon brushes and brushed and brushed and brushed on my barrel, and you think it's clean because nothing's coming out, and I get the borescope and I look in there and it's still full of crud. But I put a bronze brush down there and I start scrubbing, and all of a sudden it starts coming out. So that's all I know is elbow grease gets it out. I haven't found any solvents to get it out. I haven't found anything like that. But Hoppe's is more of an oil, and it's supposed to be some sort of a, break down your stuff compound too as well. But I use it more as a lubricant, so I'm not just running a dry brush through there and grinding on my barrel. So I use lots of Hoppe's to keep it well lubed up as I'm scrubbing away. That's the only way I found to get it out of there. And if there's too much in there and I get tired of scrubbing, it's not coming out, then I go to Ioso and I use that. So usually a couple of treatments of Ioso in there and it's coming out spick and span clean, and I check it with my borescope when I'm done. And I don't want to see anything in there when I'm done. And so it takes quite a while. I haven't found anything. I wish somebody'd tell me something, because I've watched lots of people and people have told me lots of things. But in my own experience, none of it seems to work other than just plain old elbow grease, getting after it, scrubbing it with a brush. And I usually will wear out a bronze brush every time I clean a barrel, and that's kind of how it goes. So I buy them by the dozen. Every time I clean it, it pretty much wears out that brush, and about the time I get it clean. And I wish those nylon brushes would work, because they seem to last a long time, but they don't do anything, so that's the problem. I'd like to see somebody actually use one and actually see it get something out of the barrel because they always just do a couple little things and say, well, out there I'm done. But I know they don't usually show you, you know, bore scope in the barrel after the gun either. So I'm kind of wondering if it's actually clean or if it's just nothing's more's coming out, so they think it's clean. But that's my 2 cents worth on that. Lots of elbow grease. It takes me a couple hours to get a barrel clean from start to finish. And once I'm done scrubbing on it and I think it's clean, I go ahead and alcohol it all out. I alcohol out my action as well. Everything's alcoholed out, cleaned up, really nice. And then I go ahead and re-grease up my action. And if my barrel's going to sit for a while, I'll go ahead and put a little 2-stroke oil inside my barrel just so it's got a little oil in there just to keep it nice, so no rust is going to grow in there or anything like that while it's sitting around. But most of my barrels don't sit around that long, but I do it anyway just because, you know, I want to. Then right before I shoot it, I patch out all that oil that I put in there, and it's just a protectant. It doesn't really do anything, it doesn't save the barrel or anything, it just protects the barrel, I guess, while it's sitting in storage waiting to be used again. But yeah, my barrels last a long time. I've heard guys say, oh yeah, you use IOSO and your barrel's not going to shoot anymore. Well, I don't know. This is a 284 barrel and got a couple thousand rounds on it. And it's probably not match quality to go out and win a big match, but it's good enough for a local match and it's good enough to do all my testing on. So don't think I'm ruining my barrels doing it this way. It's the only way I've found to actually get them clean. So I guess that's enough for this. I'll get back to scrubbing. You guys don't want to watch me scrub a barrel, but that's my 2 cents worth on barrel cleaning. Turn your trigger away, keep stuff from running in there, scrub it clean, check it with a bore scope. Hoppy's number 9, and I also clean it out with alcohol when you're done, and clean her all up. Grease your trigger back, or not your trigger, but your lugs back up when you're done, and ready to go again for the next time. So that's it for this one. Thanks.